What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Team Building Podcast, where you learn how to build a dominant real estate team in your market and any market. And we've got a fantastic, phenomenal guest with us today. Goodness, we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. We're talking about doubling your agent count. We're going to talk about training, recruiting, team building, all kinds of good stuff. We've got the billion-dollar agent and now billion-dollar brokerage builder, Creig Northrop, is here. We've got a bunch of stuff to say about Creig. We'll bring him on in a second. But first, the man, the myth, the legend, Jeff Cohn, the mighty hairless one. Jeff, what's up today?
Matt, what's up, Creig? Man, I cannot believe we were able to get Creig on with us today. I'm really looking forward to chatting it up with you, Creig. And obviously, I've been watching you over the last couple of years. You've done some amazing things, and I think our guests are going to really get a kick out of this episode. So sit back, buckle up, and get ready for Creig Northrop.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it, Matt. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
So I'll give some of the bona fides for people that might not know the name or be familiar with kind of the structure of your business. So former #1 real estate team in the nation by volume, multiple times over. You personally were known as the youngest person to sell $1 billion in real estate as an agent, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. #1 team at Long & Foster, 10 straight years, #1 overall top producer, 2018 Entrepreneur of the Year Award for your local Chamber of Commerce, and then Inman Innovator Award finalist. Tell us about that a little bit. Where did that
the only one that beat me, it was great. And it's because of the innovation, taking a team to a brokerage. So that was it. I was competing with EXP Real Estate, nothing personal, but he is a little bigger than I am. Yeah, so it was down to him and I, and to be honest, he's more of a nationwide guy versus more local, so that's the only difference. But I'm proud to be partnered though with Long & Foster, even though it's Northrop Realty, we're still partners with Long & Foster, so we're a larger entity than just a boutique brokerage.
Oh, interesting.
And Long & Foster, correct me if I'm wrong, Creig, they're owned by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, correct?
So ironically, yes. So Warren Buffett owns us now, and and so we've got more money behind us. But Long & Foster kept the name. So Long & Foster is the #1 independent brokerage in the United States, independently owned at the time. Got bought by Berkshire just to put some more money on it. Kept its name and allowed me to grow into being my own broker, being a partner of them, which is Northrop Realty, a Long & Foster company.
That's awesome. And let everybody know, what market are you in, and how many offices do you guys have today, and how many agents?
So we are in all of Maryland. We sell Maryland, period. We are reaching out now. We're DC, Virginia, and Delaware right now. And we have 7 offices, and we have 125 agents currently right now.
Okay, across 7 offices.
Across 7 offices, yes. And pretty much are all in the state of Maryland. And getting ready to grow in some of these other states. We're just getting brokerage licenses in them now.
Okay. Sometimes I have the problem of going down rabbit holes. I'm going to do one real quick. My family takes an adventure trip every year for 3 weeks, and my wife thought it would be an adventure to do a road trip up the East Coast. And we will be in Maryland, Virginia, D.C. Next summer. Would love to connect while we're up there.
I would love to. I'd love to have you out here and certainly show you why Maryland.
That'd be awesome. So you said you were the youngest to hit $1 billion. How old were you when you did that?
I was, let's see, so I would have been under 30, so I'd been 28, between 28 and 30. I mean,
okay, and that was with a team of how many agents?
I was, at that time, we were, well, actually, no, that was prior to team. No, I would say, no, I'm wrong. Sorry, we started the team. So I'm 30. My wife and I started a team when I was around 32, so I'd say about 35. 35 is about when I hit the $1 billion program.
So, guys, I wanted to say that I was going to try to beat him out, but I just turned 37 yesterday. So, unfortunately, youngest ship already sailed. Creig, congratulations,
yes.
Sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Letting everyone know, we'll talk about where you are today, but getting there, how in the HE double were you able to do $1 billion in sales at 35 with a new team? Like, how did you do that? How did the volume add up so quick?
Well, one of the things that first of all, I love what I do. And, people ask, how, hours of work, things like that. For me, it's a lifestyle, and it has to be. In order to be successful in your field, first of all, you need to know it. I call knowledge is competence, competence, trust is the sale. But more importantly, I learned everything I needed to know before I started the business. So I learned every house of every street of every location. So when a client asked me to see a house, I knew 3 other houses to go show them. So I only showed 5 houses because I knew the inventory so well. So my ultimate secret success getting there quickly was knowledge. Knowledge was the power for me. So I knew a lot of product, and I got to adapt and learn and get into a higher end market quicker. One of the reasons is my mother was in the business as well. So she had done the business. and she was really known for a lot of the upper end. So that certainly helped me get into that upper end a little quicker.
What price point are we talking about, Craig? 100 houses that are $1 million is only 100 million in volume. That means you'd have to sell $1,000 million houses to hit $1 billion. Were you selling like $30 million houses?
Well, no. For us, our average market actually is only about 500,000, but we sold 1,800 of them last year. So
okay, I was going to say you'd have to hit 2,000 unit sales. So you guys were huge in your volume was not bad. I mean, our average sales price is only $220, so you're at about $500,000 in your average price point, and you did 2,000 sides. So even if you have all the passion in the world, everyone's listening and going, okay, whatever, passion, crushing it, working hard, like everybody listening has that, but not everyone listening has done 1,800 deals, especially not when they were 35 years old. So there's more to it. What more to it are you not sharing with us?
Well, and what it is you got to get great people around you. So what we created way back, I used to call it the IBM approach to real estate. Now I call it the Apple approach to real estate, ironically, because it's it's kind of changed over time. But the thought process was, as an agent, I didn't want to do certain things, paperwork. I didn't want to do, staging and learning the house. I mean, I wanted to learn the house enough to sell it, but I didn't want to know how the roofs are and the windows and writing up the stuff. So we created what they call a hybrid of real estate as a team, and we brought that same thought process to a brokerage. So staging, we stage all of our properties, and that stager comes behind the agent and takes care of putting it in the systems and does the pictures and the virtual tour, does everything for you. So you as an agent, all you have to do is sell. From a marketing company. So we have stagers, we have client care coordinators, we have a marketing company, the in-house marketing company, we have the IT department, and then of course we have the sales. So the 5 departments is what made up to be able to create systems and productivity to allow 40 listings a week to go on market. To allow the volume that you did, you have to build the systems. And building the systems and having a good CRM, and my son, who's very, very strong on the Salesforce side of it, we do use Salesforce, all of them kind of coming together and having people share that goal and passion. So I'll give you an example. I think one of our first goals was, back then, and when I was 30, in the 30s, when my wife and I started, we had a goal of, I want to say it was, 100 million, let's just say at the time, right? That was probably when we had 4 or 5 agents. We got to that goal. Our agents and our administration, we took them all to an all-inclusive resort for a weekend, like a Ritz-Carlton, to let them feel like we want our clients to feel like that. My pleasure attitude. Don't tell me where the bathroom is. Walk me to where you want to go. It's the same philosophy. We have created gold standard real estate, and that gold standard kind of gravitates, and then people gravitate to you, and they want to be part of something. And agents don't like paperwork. They don't like doing all the little detail work. They're good at selling, and the goal is to free up your time in selling, and that's Craig, the hybrid.
Everything you've said has given me chills because it's everything we always say. We started our coaching organization a couple years ago called Elite Real Estate Systems, and it's all about teaching agents to stop selling and start focusing on building a wheel that they can plug other agents into to help them be the most productive possible. And so I want to dissect that. Exactly. Plug and play, baby. So I love that that's your mindset. I love that you're a pioneer in this because I know a lot of team leaders are still selling. 99% of team leaders sell real estate. They need to focus on building a business. And so we're going to dissect that. We never have enough time. And I would like to do a little bit of rapid fire, Matt, with Craig. I think he has a lot of content that our people are going to want to hear more about. So before we get into that, let's focus on recruiting. And then after we talk about recruiting and kind of what your current goals are, Craig, I'd like to dissect what got you here and talk about CRMs, lead gen, contract to close, all the leveraged positions that our listeners should start focusing on, because that's what Elite Real Estate Systems believes in, and that's what we coach on. I'd love to hear what your journey looked like and find some parallels there. So before going to that, where are you wanting to go in the next 12 months? And let's talk about how you want to get there. And the reason I ask this is everyone listening wants to add agents. They want to add leads. They want to add accountability. They want to add all of these systems to see themselves grow. You have the foundation. The thing you need now is what everybody needs. Maybe they don't know it, but you need more people to plug and play.
Ultimately, you certainly need more people to plug and play. One of the things that my mother, when she was in the business, real estate used to be, you wait for the phone to ring, you pick it up, you go handle a client. If you make real estate a business, which is really where you're getting to, it's the first step. Treat it like a business because it is. And if you want to make something valuable that lasts and create legacy, you have to create a business out of it, right? So that's the first point I wanted to echo on that question. So the second question, sorry, ask the question again.
Yeah, so just share with the listeners, just because it's always fun to hear someone that thinks at your level and has obviously had the type of numbers you've put up. I would love the listeners to hear what your next 12-month goal is and maybe even your next 5-year goal, keeping in mind that you've been a number one team leader for years. Now you own a brokerage that's partnered with Long and Foster. You have some big aspirations in terms of what you want to accomplish from a brokerage standpoint, which you're already pretty far beyond where a lot of the agents listening are. But I think there's a lot of similarities, and this is where agents discount themselves as to what they're trying to accomplish. The agent today that's building a team is ultimately building a brokerage within a brokerage. So there's no difference in the way that you should attack the sales process, the building of the business process, and the coaching process within your team. It's the same as the broker. So speak to the audience as to what your ultimate goals are from a 12-month standpoint and a 5-year standpoint with agent recruiting.
Understandable. Yes. And so ultimately building a team, I'm a big believer of building a team. I think teams are the future of real estate, period. And I think that when my wife and I sat down to build this team, we knew that we wanted to be the best. If you're going to do it anyway, why not be the best? So we got to be number one in the nation 3 times. Then we found that we've achieved that. We call it reach one, teach one. Now we want to teach others. And so we started a brokerage in February-ish timeframe. We have 100% retention from team to brokerage because we kept every systems and all the things that we brought across. And
nothing,
of course,
real quick, just to point this out to our audience, Creig, and correct me if I'm wrong. There's no difference when you choose to become a brokerage, which I love this argument when someone says, oh, you make more money if you own a brokerage because you can sell it. At any moment, every person listening can become a brokerage. Reach out to one of the 100 franchises that are out there. They probably won't even charge you. Overnight, you can just become a broker. You just need to have someone with a broker's license. It's no different. Right. So my guess is that your institution was already a brokerage within a brokerage, and you just became a broker owner. That's all that really changed, right?
Correct. We ran our companies. We ran our company like a brokerage. We have our offices are independently standing. All of that. Yes. So the answer is we were already sort of a minor brokerage in a major brokerage.
You were probably from a top brokerage standpoint in Maryland. When you were a team, had you been a brokerage, how would you have ranked in your city? And I ask it because right now, if I were to leave and become my own broker, we'd be the 6th largest brokerage in Omaha, which is pretty crazy. I'm running a real estate team that'd be the 6th largest brokerage in the city.
Well, that's amazing. And we would not be. There's a lot of competition, a lot more franchise. Okay. There's a lot in Maryland's a lot stronger. And so Long and Foster certainly ranked number 1, but us as Northrop Realty are just getting warmed up. We are just starting. We've got a hybrid of, I always say with Tesla, no one knew what Tesla would look like until you started driving it, feeling it, and understanding it. We're a new hybrid to the broker model. Brokers never offer anything. They just say, hey, by the way, join my brokerage and good luck, right? We don't do that, right? So we have training. So, we'll talk a little bit about, our first I'll go back to your question about goals. Our goal for 2019 is $1 billion broker, period. $1 billion broker is our definite goal. To have 250 agents, we have 125.
How many deals is that? Is that 1,800 sides again?
No, it has to be over 2,000. So 2,000 sides, 250 agents.
Okay. And, Creig, I'm going to pause you real quick because as people listen to this, they're going to start shutting off. The numbers are too big.
Okay. All right.
For most people listening, the numbers are too big, and I want you to keep going down this path. So what I would like to do is create the parallel that think about how Creig's thinking. Look at the business accolade. Look at he believes he can do 2,000 sites because he's done it. And I think that's incredible. That's your focus. My focus right now is 1,000 deals by 2020. But the thing I want everyone to pay attention to is how he's going to do it. And the foundation he's already created, and then we'll dissect each and every one of those steps, that whole plug-and-play mindset. But listen to what Creig now says his goals are to get there. And everyone listening, Creig, correct me if I'm wrong, has the capacity of doing the exact same thing in their own marketplace. They need to think bigger and build a system behind it. So continue.
And I think that's a great point. And one point I want to make it very clear, and I honor the fact of what you're doing and trying to educate and let people know is, every time when I was fighting to be number 1, my wife and I were fighting to be number 1 team in the nation. When we became number 2, we were number 2 probably 5 to 7 years. It started in about 2005. The ranking started with Real Trends. And for about 5 to 7 years, we went and flew out to every top person, the team that beat us. We were out to McMonaco in Orange County. We were at Jill's down in Florida, in Miami. We were out to Ruth Pugh out there in California as well. We met them. We talked to them. We learned from them. And I'm telling you, learning is so important from others. And it's things like this is first. So my first step is gain more. If you learn more, you earn more. And I think that's an important part to hear. So, and then it's defining your goals, being clarity on your goals. And we have what they call soul goals with all of my Percy team members, which are company members. Every month they have a soul goal to achieve. And if they achieve their monthly goal, they'll get their annual goal and they'll get their annual income and they'll get everything they need. But you got to size the goal down because goals tend to be too big and then we just stop doing them. So that's part of the sort of the mindset. How we're going to get there this year. So let's talk a little bit about that anybody can do. Training. We set up a thing called Northrop University, which is a Northrop U, we call it. It's a 9,000 square foot facility that we train our agents only, 125 agents to be the best. We're not looking to invite other agents for that. It's not a point. We want to make our agents the best because in our market, it's shifting a little bit. So they're going to gravitate to the best. People want more, better. I say the pie's shrinking. You got to take more of it, and that means better agents and better times, right? So they want us, need us more. You'll see the discount realtors kind of descend away when the markets change. So with that happening, our agents are raising the bar. So it's our goal in a brokerage to raise the level of professionalism in our business, and we're doing that one agent at a time. So we're training. Go ahead.
Craig, we always say the growth to any business is based on 3 pillars. 1 is recruiting talent, both admin and agent talent. 2 is retaining by offering value, which we'll get into in a minute. 3 is continuous training to make people the best that they can be. And not everybody can be at the level you or I are at, but they can be the best version of themselves. So break down your training for 2 minutes. Let us know what that looks like so that team leaders listening maybe are a little bit more motivated to do a better job at training their agents.
So we'll give you an example of October. October is our second best month in the year, right? It's a secret month for us. People don't realize that. We had 25 training sessions in October, almost once a day. So we were training our agents for getting ahead of the market for 2019. What's shift mean? How does it affect you? Tempo training, good to great training. We had contract training because we have training, contracts change every October. So they're, kind of training things. They're training things that team leaders, if they were to take the time, can actually do this training. There isn't a lot to that. Yes, we bring outside coaches in just to kind of hear different perspectives, but more importantly, it's the person that's what they call a player's coach. I think a player's coach is more valuable to teach than is a coach from afar. A coach that sits on the sidelines, never played the game, and really thinks that they can coach you on personal, but I'm coaching you on personal and business, and personally, what's the pulse of real estate? We talked
off air a little bit about a lot of the current coaches in the country, and it's almost comical to me that they've never been in the trenches before, and they're coaching agents how to be in the trenches. They don't know what it feels like. They don't know what it's like to have a commission coming in to pay a bill. They don't know what it's like to have to prospect for 20 hours a week and get a bunch of no's over and over and over again, and that's hard in the beginning. And I think even you and I, Craig, forget about some of those hard times, those first couple of years in the business and the failures that we had to experience. So I think that's great that you guys are offering that solution. 25 trainings. Of course, Elite Real Estate Systems, you guys offers a training solution for your agents. It's only $17 a month right now for an agent to plug in and get 8 hours of content a month. And then, of course, our team leader training designed to help agents quit selling real estate and start focusing on a business is $497. I can't fully disclose some changes that are coming down the pipeline in January of 2019, but our pricing model is going to change effective January 1st, and it's going to increase a lot. So for anybody that has been on the fence thinking about joining our live stream training, you have till the end of December. Sign up, go to EliteRealEstateSystems.com, click on live stream. So in the tune of live stream in the virtual world and EXP, how are you guys offering some type of a virtual solution to this plug and play solution? And this, you said you have this 9,000 square foot office space. Can agents visit your trainings virtually? Are they recorded? Is there a Dropbox they can go to watch episodes that they can't make in person?
We are building something like that ultimately, but I'm not really one of them little, I don't know. I'm not a believer of the whole go in virtually and learn it that way. I think touch and feeling it's like selling a house. I mean, yes, I can sell some houses virtually, but really they have to touch and feel it. So never lose the personal touch of training because I think it's important. So why I think you can do it like this, we're talking, but I think it's so important to be in front of them or make it feel or see the emotion. Same way we're doing a camera versus radio. See, I can see you. I can feel that emotion, that energy. Energy and time is more valuable than money, period, always, right? So at the end of the day, It's that energy you walk out of there. Can you walk out of being a little marshmallow man that sits in a class and really get as much as sitting in a class with somebody that's passionate, that loves what they do, tells where the market's going, and really is the predictor of what's happening in the next, year or two? Like, Under Armour's got people that are actually hired for what's going on in the next 5 years and 10 years. It's a place where I want to grow our company. I want predictors that we actually hire that know what's the business going to be in the next 5 or 10 years. Sure. And that's
love it.
Ahead of
and I think the solution's a hybrid. It never has to be A or B. It sometimes can be both. I like the idea of offering a virtual solution for those millennial X and Y gen that don't want to have to come into a physical office space and or just simply missed the training that they regret missing. So you guys, anyone listening, it's so simple. You just can seriously use a cell phone if you need to. You can live stream it. Go buy a Mevo camera, which is like the GoPro for live stream. It's really easy to record. And then another thing we're going to start doing starting in January is we're going to do a Zoom link for all of our agents. So if they want to come in virtually, they can just come in through Zoom. And so they have the option of being able to watch the live stream on the back end of our coaching site and or participate in the live stream, just like we're participating together, like you mentioned, being able to see each other. The goal is to increase the size of the brokerage by how much in the next 12 months?
12 months is 250 agents. So to double.
Add 250 or go to 250?
Yes.
Okay.
To go to 250. So double.
Okay, so you need to add double your size. So that's my same goal. And I've done that in years past, but I went from 12 to 25 and then 25 to 50. My goal next year is to go from 50 to 100. And so it's awesome to see you go 125 to 250. How are you going to do it?
Well, one of the things that we're doing, again, a lot of trainings. Trainings is important, and we're what they call an all-inclusive resort. It costs you nothing to be here, right? So you love it because everything's handled for you. It's a hybrid in the broker world. And so with that, we're attracting people that are getting nickel and dime from all the different brokers out there, things like that. And they want to be of like kind or like-minded people. So we create a very great culture that basically allows them to grow in around. We have mastermind. We have different levels. We have a leaderboard, sort of like the ESPN of real estate, where they can kind of see all the offices and compete. They want to have some competition.
What are you using as a software? What are you using as a software solution to run that? And I only ask because we've recently partnered with a company called Sisu, SISU.co, that does an amazing job at creating those dashboards.
Yeah, we are using Salesforce as our platform.
Okay.
And the offshoot is level 11 is the platform we're using for the leaderboard side.
Okay.
But the thought process is we have to customize Salesforce, but we customize it so that basically we can track everything down to days on markets. To everything we want is all data fed to right there, and the clients and the agents have it all done for them. So basically, imagine going to a real estate brokerage where everything is done, all you have to do is focus on the client. You'll have more clients, you'll build more relationships, and you'll sell more houses. Our agents sell more houses more often because everything else is done for them, taken care of from start to finish. We spend so much time doing
I can't tell you, man, how many times I've said this. When I recruit an agent, I tell them their only focus is generating leads and getting people to sign listing agreements and exclusive buyer agency agreements. That's their highest value time before they start to run their own team and choose to exit the day-to-day grind, which we also teach people to do that. I'm sure at your university, you're teaching people to exit as well and focus on building a team because leaders serve followers, and I can tell you're a servant leader. Let's shift gears here. I want to make sure our listeners can hear all of the amazing strategies you've implemented in going to $1 billion company. Let's start with the CRM. Obviously, there's lots of CRM options out there. I don't like to always focus on maybe just one, which I use Boomtown and love it, but it doesn't just have to be Boomtown. Talk about the power of a CRM and how you guys have held agents accountable to certain expectations within that CRM and the way they use it.
Well, their CRM, we got introduced again from my son called Salesforce. Salesforce is one of the biggest products out there, but they're not catered to real estate. You have to spend a lot of time and energy to get it catered to your business. Boomtown's another good one. I agree with that as well. But Salesforce, we kind of cater to our side. Once we did that and we had somebody passionate about it, what you learned is IT people can't sell salespeople systems. You can't do it. You can't have an IT guy say, he use Salesforce and it'll be a great CRM. Because any kind of CRM is only in what you interpret and put into it. You have to get a salesperson to tell a salesperson how to do it. So we simplified it. We made it dummy proof. We call it really simple to put your leads in, have you follow up. Once we did that, the year that we did that, we actually doubled our buyer business by our CRM. Sorry, CRM, because it was accountability on buyer side. It's a little easier to be accountable on the seller side. You got them under contract, you have them under, there's a little more accountability already done for you.
Right.
But on buyers, it's so random. It really doubled our buyer business by the CRM.
Creig, let me pause this. This is awesome the way you answered this question, and I kind of was leading you down this path, so I'm glad you answered it this way. Creig did not say one thing about the leads that his CRM created for him, because he looked at the CRM as a client relationship management tool that helped his agents plug his buyers into Salesforce to help them keep themselves accountable to convert twice as many leads as the year previous. So often agents talk about CRMs as internet lead vehicles. Yes, that is a small component, but the great value in using a CRM the right way is helping your agents be more productive with the leads they create on their own.
Correct. And it was a very valuable tool.
Awesome. From a lead conversion standpoint, I always talk about, you got your 33 touch, you've got texting, instant messaging, Facebook messaging, handwritten notes, drive-bys, pop-bys. There's so many options. What would you recommend to an agent listening that's training agents on how to convert not only internet leads, but leads that they put into their CRM on their own? What do you think is the special sauce to earn that business, to get them to know you, like you, trust you, so ultimately they refer to you and they choose to use you?
Well, I think what you learn, and we talked a little bit about the millennials earlier, is they're all about speed. Speed matters. So that means that they take speed as a way of courtesy and respect and trust. They build trust on speed faster than anything else. So the faster you get back to that client, they feel they're wanted or needed. So in the internet secret world of the Zillows and the Realtor.coms, it's all about how fast you get to them and that you can handle their need before they go on to the next person. And we're all about response time. It's a very passionate thing. I've been ever since I started in this business. I think
what's the magical number? How much time do we have? Got a sign call, got a text, got an email.
The minute you hang that phone up, they should be on it, is the answer. That's
I
how
agree.
fast that we make sure. Yes.
Yep. So right away.
Very passionate.
I mean, Boomtown says 2 minutes. It's less than 2 minutes because they're moving to the next person, the next the next phone number on the website.
Imagine as a telemarketer, it's all they're doing is just going to the next person. If you can stop them in their track and then handle everything else they were looking at on their front. I ask them, I said, what else are you looking at? I'll make these appointments. I stop them before they make that next call, that next agent.
Yep. We tell our agents, you simply just have to be good at what you treat others the way you'd want to be treated, and you'll be successful. It's really not rocket science. There's so many agents that are part-time. They're not responding right away. They're not even giving people what they want when they do respond. So if you simply just do the basics, you'll win. It's just a matter of getting your agents engaged.
One other thing you want to say, following up from that, I mean, I'll stop you on that too, is part-time. It's hard to be a part-time agent, honestly. You need to be a full-time. But guess what? Somebody's asked me before. They said, sir, you're a full-time agent. I said, no, ma'am, I'm an all-the-time agent. There's a big difference between an all-the-time agent versus a full-time agent. And I think we as business, if you want to run it as a business and you want to run it as professional, all-the-time agents even take you to the next level.
I love it. And even if you tell someone you're all the time and you time block time to not be on, you're still all the time, other than the times you've time blocked to give to your family. So let's move on to accountability. That's a huge piece that I like to speak to, and I'm sure there's been some accountability functions within your organization that's helped you get to where you are today. What do you think are the most important things to hold agents accountable to on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis?
Well, one of the things I think is having goals, sold goals. And, we have, for my own personal self, as a team leader, you should have your own personal goals. You should share the personal goals to everyone in the team. And then you should have a team goal for the whole team, right? So what I did is we used to do is my wife and I would sit down for a team goal, and each part of it combined it from every one of our agents. So all of our agents built up to be the team goal. And if
you didn't set a team goal and then make the agents plug into it, you took all your agents' individual goals and made them the team goal.
That is correct. And so that's important.
I agree.
And then you have to be accountable to you first. Make this you cannot make people accountable if you can't be accountable to yourself. Be your word, and so I'm very much about what they call 20-20-20. And it's 20 listings, 20 contracts, and 20 repositions every month, period. That's my goal, period. And I work backwards. It's 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. It's a backwards thought process because our mind works like a completion, not a build-up. If you build the hill, if you write the hill, it'll look like a hill. If you write it like you're going down a hill, it's a lot easier to achieve. So these are just some of the goals and accountability. You first, then make them accountable by giving them what they call sold goals, which is monthly goals, what you're looking for them to achieve.
This is great content, Creig. Real quick, I want to send an invite out to all of you listening. We are hosting our first ever regional mastermind in Miami, Florida, January 15th and 16th. We have an event almost every single month next year. If you want to find out more about our events coming up, you can go out to eliterealestatesystems.com, click on events. The Miami, Florida will be an all-day workshop, just like our team building workshop in Omaha. We charge $3,000 for our Omaha workshop. We're only charging $297 for our all-day workshop in Miami. If you guys can make it, it's going to be beautiful. We have a private yacht club that we're going to be hosting our event at. We're going to have some cocktails. It should be a great time, so check that out. And then we also are going to be hosting a workshop, a shorter version. It's a 4-hour workshop in Charleston, South Carolina, in conjunction with Boomtown Unite, the day before Unite starts on Sunday. And we're doing the same for the annual Berkshire Convention in Las Vegas mid-March. So if you want to check those out and see what upcoming dates we have in Omaha, if you want to see my brick and mortar office, follow in Creig's footsteps of going out and visiting top performing teams, which, Creig, I don't know if you knew this about me. I visited probably over 50 brick and mortar offices based on Real Trends Top 100, did the exact same thing. And it's amazing to me. Birds of a feather flock together. You get to choose the people that you want to associate with. I have the limiting belief at an earlier age that people that performed at a high level had a secret sauce they didn't want to share. And what I've come to discover, it's the very opposite. Those that have the secret sauce share it because they know most people aren't willing to do the hard work that got them to where they are today. In my own marketplace, I probably only am asked once a year to meet with somebody. I'm the top agent in Nebraska and have been the last 5 years. Once a year, someone says, "Hey, Jeff, can I take you to, to lunch and pick your brain?" It's shocking to me because I've done this, for years and years, and I still am doing. I'm interviewing you every week. We bring in a guest that performs at a high level so that I can continue to learn. And you said something earlier, Creig, about attaining the knowledge and then applying it. And that's always been a big belief of mine. Is a lot of agents don't obtain the knowledge; they just fail. Other people other people just get the knowledge and they never take the risks to move forward. But it's a combination of getting the knowledge and applying it, getting the knowledge and applying it, and being willing to take a step back to take 2 steps forward.
I agree. Master that weight and then come back even stronger. Yes, sir.
So I know, Matt, you always have a pretty hard out here in a couple minutes from now. Creig, out from a systems and a strategy standpoint, why don't you share with our audience maybe the top 2 or 3 systems and or strategies that you feel are required for a team to be able to double their agent count in 1 year, or for them to be able to retain top talent? What would you say are a few of the systems/strategies you guys have implemented in your business outside of the things we've talked to up to this point?
Well, I think first, professional always. We're very passionate about professional always. If you want to be treated professionally or look professionally, we always felt that in our market, it's very about how you present yourself. So I think professional.
Creig says this. I think Matt and I both have hoodies on.
Right.
Matt, are you in a hoodie right now?
No, I'm in a cashmere sweater. Thank you, Jeff.
Oh, Matt's in a cashmere sweater.
I've never
I'm in the hoodie.
Never worn a hoodie in my life. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. And you're from Omaha. I'm surprised by that.
I know.
So
no, and I'm.
Every market has its own expectation of what professional looks like, and I'm with you, Creig. Like, you want to be treated as a professional, you got to dress for success. Dress to the level of the client you're meeting with. I've always been a big believer. And if you guys are listening and you're not watching, Creig is in a suit today and looks very dapper, and we appreciate him doing that. He's also sitting in front of a very nice piece of art that reminds me of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he just gets stuck in the picture. I've been kind of stuck in your picture, Creig, this entire interview today. So thank you for that. All right, I cut you off. Continue. So dress for success. What else?
I mean, I think the other parts to it is growing others. So one of the things why the new brokerage is growing their names now. Get your ego out of the way. I think that's an important thing as a team leader. If you want to keep growing, we're now Northrop Realty. Creig Northrop doesn't exist. It's really just Northrop Realty, and now the different teams are coming up the way, and you allow
your agents to have an identity. It doesn't have to be the Creig show, and I think that's absolutely perfect. That's the mentality of a broker, and if you're a team not allowing your agents to do that, you have the mentality of a team leader who's egotistical. It took us a couple years to shift to that about 3 years ago, and now all of our agents can have their own team names. Even within our team, they can have their names on the signs with their cell phone numbers. So I do recommend the same. That's great.
And that's one of the gross things that we've seen, and I call adaptability to not only your clients, listening to them. There's no such thing as a listening appointment. It's called a listening appointment. Other side is the adaptability of how do you get team members to work together, right? Because the hardest thing is growing teams, and a lot of your team leaders out there. How do you get that one person not to feel like the next person coming in isn't going to take their market share and really help build the share, not take the share? And I think that's been a really kind of a amazing thing. I give that 98% of it to my wife credit of saying, hey, relationships matter. Get good people, understand their value, understand why we have them part of our brokerage, and they grow with you. The more signs you put on the yard, the more calls you get, the more market share you end up getting together, everyone benefits. It's that energy. It's contagious. It grows. And remember, energy is more valuable than money. I'm very passionate about that because our clients, our economy, our everyone, our agents that we work for or work for us need that every day.
Awesome. Creig, if someone in your marketplace wants to learn more, maybe check out your university, or if one of our audience members wants to meet you, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
C. Northrop at northroprealty.com. Certainly you can get to me directly there, and I can teach you a lot of all the things that can help you get to be a better agent quicker. 1 year with us will give you 10 years in this business, I assure you.
I love it. And then referrals, obviously you guys would work referrals. Typically people in our network charge a 50% referral fee. Is that okay?
Well, I appreciate that. I love you very much. Thank you. But we're always at standard 25 to 30%. We're always open to do that and always want to play referrals. Listen, I love working with other agents. One of my favorite things, I love working together. We're all in the same business to do good things. And the more we learn from each other and help each other, if you help one, it grows them, and which always makes you better as well. So please remember to reach one, teach one.
Creig, I could go on for 10 more hours. This has been awesome, mentally stimulating. Sure appreciate you coming on. You've done some amazing things. You're a thought leader in our industry. I'd love to see if I can try to get you to come out maybe and speak at my team building summit next summer. And I would love to be a part of any of the things you're doing. So if you'd ever want me to come on virtually and do a training, or even when I'm up there next summer, I'd love to get in front of your brokerage. I like to speak nationally at least once a month.
Well,
Matt, I know we like.
So you just tell me when.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. And then, Matt, I know we like to invite all of our audience members to go out to iTunes and please give us a 5-star review. Thank Creig for this amazing interview, and or let everybody know what your experience has been listening to the Team Building podcast with Jeff Cohn. I know we're almost to 100. It was our goal to hit 100 reviews by the end of the year. We're still ranked number 2, I believe. If you look up Team Building, we come up as the number 2 podcast on iTunes right now. So thank you guys so much for your support. Creig, thank you so much. Matt, any other housekeeping items before we wrap?
No, that's it. You covered it.
Well, reviews. One last thing on the reviews is they're free, by the way. You should get reviews. Zillow Reviews is very passionate about that. We're number 2 in the country for Zillow Reviews right now. We really
How do you know
believe in
that?
them. We know that from a tracking system. Zillow and I, we keep pretty close tabs of each other. So it's a good
Number
thing.
2 in the country on Zillow Reviews. Do you guys hear this?
Yes.
Creig, wow. I want to be like
awesome.
Creig when I grow up.
Well, there's only one gentleman. He focuses every day on doing this, and he's very tough. He's in Atlanta, and he's the number 1 guy. But and I admire him for that. So. Yes.
That's awesome.
Creig, thanks for sharing so much. You have a lot of experience, and obviously you've done some big things. Keep pushing, keep growing, just like all of us. We're all in the grind. And I just kind of would like to close just by reminding everyone the focus needs to be on recruiting talent, retaining by offering value. And Creig, you guys have done an amazing job at that. And then continually to offer high-level training. I mean, Creig's office is doing 25 trainings a month, has a 9,000 square foot study hall, I guess you'd call it. I'd love to see some pictures of that. I think that's fascinating. I can tell you're a servant leader. And that you're there to help serve your agents, and a lot of brokers aren't. So my hat's off to you.
Thank you.
Matt?
Literally.
All right.
Literally.
Thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate everybody watching live. This has been awesome. If you want to grab the any previous episodes or grab the video version of this, go to eliterealestatesystems.com. And with that being said, we'll see you guys next week on the next episode.